Get ready. It's time. Christina, Catherine, Lisa, Amy, and Lauren. Welcome to the Cimorelli podcast.
Hey, I'm Christina.
I'm Catherine.
I'm Lisa.
I'm Amy.
I'm Lauren.
And we're Cimorelli.
Welcome back to
The Cimorelli podcast.
Woohoo! Welcome back. Welcome back, everyone. You know, I've been trying to not read comments anymore, even though I tell you guys I read comments, which I did for so long. I read like every comment, but I've been trying to not read comments anymore. But I read them on one of our podcast episodes yesterday, and I was just feeling so good after I read them because everyone was like, wow, I'm learning so much.
So you are still reading comments?
Yes. I took like a 2-week break, honestly.
Wow.
2-minute break.
Yeah, but everyone was saying they love our podcast. They've learned so much. They think about quotes we say all the time in their life. And I was like,
Amy's quote in the YouTube video, the Chipmunk video, everyone loved it. I haven't felt joy in so long.
oh, I saw that.
I love doing our podcast.
I'm sad that you all relate to that.
Amy,
Of course they do. It's 2020.
Sad but true. Okay, anyway. A Cimorelli podcast is a fun, uplifting podcast where we focus a lot on self-improvement and personal growth. We share juicy stories, discuss personal topics, and get vulnerable and real with you guys. Woo-woo. Every other episode is available only on our Patreon. The patrons fund the podcast. Thank you guys so much. Maybe one day we'll get sponsors like, do you know that literally everyone who has a podcast doesn't do it without sponsors?
Wow.
You're like the only person
technically
who does.
We have sponsors, and it's you guys.
It's you guys are our lovely sponsors. Thank you to our sponsors of the podcast, Patreon.
Yes.
We really
thank
appreciate
you guys.
you. You guys
Truly,
do a lot for
the
this
literal
country.
reason for the season.
Most people have like 3 to 6 sponsors
Wow.
in one episode.
Oh, yeah.
That's way too much.
We have 0. We haven't tried to get any yet. I don't know if we will try.
No, we
Should
try, and
try?
then one person says, "Oh, we couldn't." We're like, "Oh, we can't do that." They're like,
So
"You
we
just need to
never
do an
tried.
episode every week," and we're like, "Well, we're not doing that."
Oh, yeah, that was one thing that didn't
We
work.
do an episode every week, though, mostly. We just
But
take
not every week of the year. Anyway,
But anyway.
look, I would like to say that I'm feeling weirdly proper. I think it's because I'm wearing a literal robe. I feel like I'm sitting by the
Wish
fire.
I was wearing a robe.
You look really
Proper.
like, wow. I'm like
Oh,
shocked.
thank
Why
you.
does a robe make you proper? Anyway.
Like, you know, imagine like a man with a red velvet robe and a pipe
Santa?
by the fire. No, no, like James Bond. Anyway, that's how I feel.
You mean like regal?
Yes,
Regal.
or not
Love it.
regal.
What's the word? Like
It's
What's the
not
word?
okay. It's like wealthy, but like
no.
fancy,
Elegant?
posh.
Glamorous? Glamorous.
Not.
I'll
think of it. I'll think of it. Just keep going.
Stuffy.
Fufu shishi. Exactly.
No, comprendo. Okay, let's stop. So,
can't hear.
today's topic of conversation is first date stories.
I'm so excited.
We're each going to tell the story of our first date, so
Oh my
That's
gosh.
it.
buckle
Uh-oh.
up.
Guys, mine is so embarrassing.
Good, I'm glad it is.
Why do I think of the worst, I guess, for myself? I'm
Okay.
like, oh, sounds great. And
But
then I have to
we're not
do
doing it yet, so
Yeah.
we can
give
stop.
us a
So before we do that, we're going to tell you our highs and lows of our week.
His loss.
Okay, that's me. So my high was, I really recommend this. I watched Enchanted. We just talked about it the other day.
What is that?
Yeah, I was
I
like,
need to
wow,
watch
I
it.
haven't seen that movie. Stop singing over me. I haven't seen that movie since it came out in 2007, so I didn't remember it like at all.
Yeah, I don't remember.
It was so good. Adina Menzel is iconic. Now that I love her, I'm like, oh my gosh. It really was like the biggest serotonin boost. I know everyone always says that, but it actually was. I was literally watching it like this. Like, it was really good. It was such a high. I don't really know what my low was. I feel like mostly these days my low is just like, oh, I'm so tired. You know, I'm tired a lot. So I'm sure I was tired this week, but I don't have a like specific low that's like really coming to mind. So I was tired many times, and that was my low.
My low was that somebody hit my car in the parking lot.
Right.
It wasn't like a bad hit, but that was a couple weeks ago. So, but my low of this week is that my car is getting fixed. It's taking 100 years. So I have this rental car, and it's terrifying.
Yeah.
I don't like it. That's my low.
Oh no.
And my high was I watched The Grinch.
Wow, so many
Such a good
movie-related
movie.
highs.
Great
this week.
movie. Yeah, that was my high.
Wow.
Great.
Oh,
Okay.
Quite a
so,
face. Amy, are you good, bro? Okay.
Once again, I really can't remember my week, but I do know that my low is like literally this morning now. I feel like a dead thing, but I feel like I look not dead.
You look
don't
like
look
pretty
dead.
I feel
lively
like
for being dead.
no one will ever know when I'm dead.
Ooh, here's a
Yeah.
high that Barrett grows an inch every day, and it's so cool. Every time I see him, he's bigger.
Yes, that's a high.
It's
Literally.
crazy.
But anyway, I literally not my health. Is it my health? My health. Some insert word for health that's not health. I don't know what word it is.
What?
It's hanging on by a string. I'm like, I feel
You're
like I'm
like-
on the
your
verge of
strength.
death, but you can't tell, which is good.
Your vitality.
death?
Or is it bad?
Or you mean your energy or your health?
Energy.
Her vitality. That's the word.
I'm just dead
Like
all
your
the time.
organs are gonna shut down, or you're gonna take a nap.
I don't know.
It's probably sleep deprivation.
I know it's gonna
I have
happen.
felt that before,
Yeah,
actually.
new
Yeah,
mom
it
life.
is. So I'm just
you
like
are a
sore
warrior.
all the time. I could go on a walk and I don't recover. And I'm like, I
Because
just
you're not
walked.
sleeping enough to recover. You recover while you
Yes.
sleep.
Yeah,
and
you
you
need
sleep
to
a
the
lot.
recover.
worst. Yeah, it's like the worst feeling ever.
That's
so that's
so
a
sad.
low. I literally feel like I'm dying, but I'm making it. Just making it.
Still alive, but I'm
So
barely breathing.
my high was that I had a really, really good day yesterday with Nick and Barrett. Nick watched Barrett a lot, and
Aw.
I got to do a bunch of stuff that I wanted to do, like journal. I hadn't been able to journal in
Ooh.
literally weeks because you can't
Aw.
really journal when you're holding a baby.
Oh
You
my
have to have
gosh.
both hands.
Sounds a
to
bit
do it.
complicated.
You open your phone to note and you talk to text. I'm having a terrible day. Period.
Sounds horrible.
Today, comma, I actually do that when I'm driving. It's not the best
I hate
thing,
that.
but I need to write this down right now.
I just talk out loud to myself.
no, I need to write it down.
I just talk out loud to myself.
Yeah.
So anyway, I got like all this stuff I've been trying to do for years done, which was great. So that was a high. What about you?
My low, I really like starting with a low and then
Go.
ending on the high, end on a
Same.
high note. My low was this sort of like 24-hour period where I had these like splitting headaches.
Ooh.
And I also was really, really overwhelmed because I had so much to do and not enough time. And it was like a day where I woke up and like I was doing stuff starting at like 8 a.m. and then I was doing stuff until midnight that day. And I was just so overwhelmed. And that's probably why I had a splitting headache the next day.
Mm.
And it just wouldn't go away. So just kind of like a physical low. My high was that the other night with my married couple friends, Max and I hung out with them and we played Jenga. And it was so fun. And I'm such a board game hater. I feel like
That's
me
not
too.
a board game.
Not anymore.
yes, it is.
Jenga?
What do
Yeah,
you? What,
you haven't been a board game hater
Wait,
in
how's
like.
that a board game?
It's not a board
No,
game, but it's like
okay,
a.
I used to
Yeah,
be the
but it's in the
person.
same
It's
vein.
like that type of thing.
Yeah.
A game.
I used to be the person that every time someone would be like, "Oh, you want to play a game?" I'd be like, "Ugh,
Immediately no.
no."
Just the
Jenga's
hater
like
of
really
I
fun.
would
good,
just
though.
internally scream, and then, which I feel like Max
You
says that all
never
the time.
gave it a try.
No, I did try, and I don't like games because part of me still doesn't like them because a lot of times they bring out the competitive side, which is not fun to see people's competitive sides. Sometimes they're really annoying. Number two, I don't like lying in board games. So I like Jenga because you just pull out these sticks and you try to make the thing not
It's like
fall.
a challenge.
And it was so funny because literally for a straight, like probably 20 turns, we were all like, this is the end. This is the one. Literally everyone had their phones and were trying to film when the thing was going to fall. And it would not fall. We got it to like 37 rows high.
Mm.
And we were just killing it. It was so funny. And we literally laughed till we cried that
See,
night.
that just scares me. I feel like it would hurt someone. Like
No,
wood
look,
falling
because
like that.
we did it on, like,
No,
a
is it
coffee
those-
table?
Is it the tiny ones?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's just these
Oh,
tiny big
big
things.
ones.
It wasn't
Okay.
giant
Not
Jenga.
the big
The
ones.
big one scares me.
Oh,
Yeah.
I love those. That
Oh.
one's so fun.
I highly recommend playing that game. I thought it was boring. I was like, oh, just a bunch of sticks.
Oh
But
my
then I
gosh.
played it and I was like, this is so fun. Like the strategy, the wiggling. Oh, I
no
love it.
wiggling.
Well, you're like trying to find the piece that wiggles like a tooth. It's literally, and my friend kept saying adult grown tooth whenever there was one that wouldn't move when you tried to move it.
Oh
It's like, oh, this
my
is an adult
gosh.
grown tooth. Anyway,
Amos and Bartlett.
Oh, it's me. Hey guys. Once again, I didn't think. I just listened.
Amy.
Sorry.
Go,
I thought
go. Say it. 1, 2, 3,
It's
talk.
okay. We have 3 hours for the podcast.
I thought
we
this
don't have like a
morning
time
at-
limit.
Anyway. So, okay. I actually thought this morning though. Okay, so my low is that do you ever just like jolt awake at like 4, 3 a.m.?
Yes.
because you're stressed.
Yes.
Apparently that means there's like if you jolt
you're
awake at that
stressed.
time and you can't like fall back asleep and you're just wide awake for no reason. Apparently that's like supposedly connected to like stress, and I guess I was very stressed because I like
Supposedly.
jolted awake. Look, I'm not a medical professional, so I'm just gonna like broadcast things like facts when I
Okay.
didn't fact check it. So, anyway, sorry. So I woke up for like an hour ish today, and I said hi to Christina like mentally, but I don't know if she heard me. I don't know. I was
I
like,
don't
oh,
think I
Christina's
did.
probably awake
Oh
right
my
now too.
No,
So
because
that
I was
was-
actually sleeping from like 4 till 5.
Good for
Wow.
you. Good for you.
It wasn't that good.
Oh, okay, then not good for you, I guess.
So I was actually sleeping for once during that time, so I didn't hear you.
Maybe I'll try again.
Yeah, try again
Why
next
in your
time.
dream
So
last
that
I was
was
just thinking of
annoying
that.
because you just lay there and you're just stressed and you just like, "Ugh." And then my high was out on Saturday. I did nothing and it was amazing.
Oh yeah, you literally texted our group. You're like, I have nothing to do today. Oh my gosh. You're
I
like,
literally always have
Yeah.
something to do, like an errand or like whatever. But like, so I literally just like, I have no plans. So I just like did my laundry, watched some TV, cleaned my room, laid there.
sounds
And really, it was
glorious,
really nice.
actually.
I needed the mental break so deeply. So yeah, that's me. I'm
Good.
a simple guy.
Awesome. That's our highs and lows. And now we're going to move on to our spicy advice Q&A.
woo, woo.
Let's hear it, Kathy. I don't even know what it is. What is it?
All right. That's because
You sound like one of those interviewers who's not actually listening, and you answer questions. They go, "Awesome, so
You're like, it was just a really hard time.
Great.
Honestly, my lowest point. Wow.
Awesome.
So
Wow, so good.
oh my gosh, we've
Awesome.
totally done interviews like that before.
I hate it.
Yeah, the person's just
I've
like,
seen many.
you're like, yeah, it was a struggle. Awesome.
can't
So,
hear.
all right.
That's
So,
so true.
awesome. This comes from our patron, Francesca. Hey, Francesca.
I love
Hey.
that name."
That is a great name.
Hey, Fran.
So she said, and we got a lot of really similar questions in this theme. In when I like put this poll out, like, what do you guys want us to do? So that's why we're answering this one. How do you deal with very difficult decisions that will change your life?
Oh.
I think a lot of people are dealing
Like,
with.
how do you make them?
Panic.
Well,
panic,
I don't know if it's. She didn't say. I
panic.
think she just deal with.
What
Just
does
like
that mean?
you have something coming up,
Maybe-
and it's like
I
stressing
Is it
think
you
like
out.
you
No,
already
no.
made the decision?
I think she's
No,
saying,
like,
"How do you make it?" I think that's what she's
Hmm.
saying.
She said, how do you deal with?
But I think she means making it.
Oh, that's not how I interpret.
Okay,
This
how
is
would you make it?
tricky.
All right. Well, I'll tell you my first thought. Oh, do you have yours? You sound like you were thinking. Okay. My first thought when I saw this was, it is really scary, and I don't really know if you can like talk yourself out of the fear and anxiety that always comes. But I can tell you, at the ripe old age of 28, that
Whoa, you're
on
so
the
old.
other side of these decisions is usually something really cool. Not always, but a lot of the time. Like anything you do in life that's really like worth, like it really like changes you or enriches you or something really cool, it's generally gonna cause a lot of fear, change, stress. Like there's just something that's just kind of the way it is. Like getting married, having your first child, getting a different job, moving out of state. It just can be something that will cause that. So like that's not necessarily a bad sign if you feel that. But I would just say like you have to tell yourself like risk equals reward. Like
Oh, so you're answering how do you like just deal with the
yeah, that's kind of
stress.
the way
Oh,
that
okay, okay.
that was my first thought of it.
Okay, here's a little tidbit for me. As an extreme people pleaser, when I'm making a big decision, all options feel wrong because if anyone is going to be unhappy with it, I'm like, oh, it's the wrong choice. So I can't see clearly at all. So sometimes what helps me, just from this one specific angle that I'm talking about, is I say, okay, if anything was possible, and like, let's say, just pretend that no one would react badly or no one would care or whatever. Ideal world, whatever that is for you. What would I do? Just if anything I did worked out perfectly, what would I do? And then I'm like, oh, okay, well, if it couldn't go wrong, I guess I would do this. And I'm always surprised by the answer. I'm like, oh, it's like a quick peek into your true desires. Because like knowing what you want is the first thing. But yeah, that's just a little bit of advice. It doesn't really answer the whole question, but
my thought on this broad topic is that okay, one decision that you make is not going to ruin your entire life for the rest of your life or fix your entire life for the rest of your life either.
True.
So I I don't know. I think I've just seen how quickly my life can change and how it has changed so many times. I mean, even like 2020, like everyone's life changed so quick. No one was planning on that. And so like, I guess for me, I just kind of think like, okay, whatever I end up doing, or if you already made the decision, okay, this decision that I'm making that I'm not 100% sure about because I don't know how it's going to work out, it's not going to ruin my life forever, first off. Like, that just doesn't happen. And second off, I'm not trapped in this decision either. Like, you can always change courses. You're not stuck in one course for the rest of your life. So that kind of helps me feel better about things of like, okay, if it doesn't work, I'm not stuck in this forever.
That's
Yeah, I would say number one, I deal with it by panicking, obviously. Or should I say not deal with it? But the things that I've heard that have made the most impact on my very own personal life
Brain.
is number one, we always think that every decision is permanent. So you have to take that out of the equation because you like, it's easy to think that way because it's like, oh, if I get this new job, like, oh, I have to be there for whatever. But like, once again, you can't always switch jobs. You can always like, I'm going to move out of state. What if it doesn't work? Well, then you just move back.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm going to this college. This is the right college. Oh no, what if you just transfer? I know plenty of people that have transferred colleges, moved somewhere, moved back, changed jobs, gone back to school, gotten a different career.
Yeah,
like,
true.
Things are never that permanent.
Yeah.
Because life is always changing. And there's so many things that happen that we have absolutely no control over that change all of our decisions. So you have to just do your best in the moment with the information that you have and just make a decision, go for it. And another thing is you have to think about you got to talk to your good friend God about it, you know? Because it's like there's a way of like when you there's just this gut vibe, this instinct that we all have, which I kind of think is God in a way, like telling us like what we should and shouldn't do in different ways. And it's like you can have a gut instinct or feeling of peace about a decision even if you feel sad
or scared.
You can have a peace at the very deep level of it. Like, oh, I'm so scared of doing this, but I
know it's the right one.
Something is telling me it's the right decision. And you can have a surface level kind of like peace about a decision when at the very root you feel mad anxiety about it. Because you're like, this is so wrong. I've heard people say that a lot about weddings, actually. Oof. Like, oh, like I knew it was a bad choice right before I got married. I knew it wasn't going to work. And it's like but at the top, they were like, oh, I think I can do this. But they knew deep inside. So you know deep inside what choice you need to make, regardless of your feelings. You just have to really take time to be alone, talk to your good friend God, and just take it in. Bring it in.
All right, there you have it, Fran. Can I call you Fran?
Yeah, can we call
there
you Fran?
There you have it. Hopefully that helps you out. We're going to go into our topic of conversation, which is first date story.
Oh, I can't even deal.
This is going to be fun.
So each of us is going to tell you the story of our first dates.
LOL.
And we're going to go oldest to youngest, aka neediest to greediest.
So you're neediest to neediest?
I think you're more greedy and I'm more needy.
If you think about it, needy?
I think I'm more needy.
And greedy are not that different. Think about it.
And you're more greedy. Just kidding.
It depends.
I'm more needy and greedy.
State of mind.
It's same to same.
Yeah.
I think it's just like two
They
words
are
that
kind
Like
of
rhyme.
Christina,
That we just
I
gotta put
used
together
to
one day. I
give
don't
you.
think there's like
You used to
chords.
make me give you foot massages in the car. So
Is that
you're
needy or
greedy.
greedy?
I'm needy. Just
Yeah.
think of that power dynamic. Who do you think is needy?
Okay.
You know what? I would say generally the older ones are greedier than younger ones are needier.
Greediest to neediest.
Let's
Yeah.
do it.
If you guys don't know that joke, it's from like what, our first
Season, I think.
season.
Yes.
Yeah.
Rewatch the first season.
All right, Christina,
don't
you
have
ready
to
to
do that.
start us off?
So
Take us down memory
Season is
lane.
gold.
my story's really strange because I don't know if anyone else has this in it, but it involves sisters in the precursor and the actual date,
in the wings.
which is not normal. I don't think anyone else is involved.
Let's just say we
Right?
were Siamese twins as teenagers, me, Christina, and Lisa.
That's not why
Why?
it involves it.
Oh.
Because you guys
Just
were involved
go.
in my other stories.
Okay,
I was
whatever.
thinking of the other dates. Okay,
But I'm like, we were
Guys,
there.
let's get
here's
into the
what
video.
happens. Let's just, without further ado, let's get into the video.
Oh
So,
gosh.
here's the precursor. So, should I just say he worked at the pool? Or should I
Yes.
say the job? Okay,
Yes.
Yeah.
so, you know, I went to the pool a lot as a teen. I was a swimmer. We're a big swimming family. Love to go to the pool, you know. What do people
Love
say?
to swim.
Catch some rays.
Yeah.
Love to
splash
go
around.
to the pool, okay? So, went to the pool, and there was this guy, and he worked, I think, at a couple pools, okay? And there's a couple pools we went to also.
Pool
So
guy.
listen.
Big pool guy.
I don't know. I don't even know where to begin because I don't even think I had even a little bit of a crush on him. So this is a very strange story.
It's very strange.
This is really weird. So
Hey.
here's what happened.
Oh,
I had
gosh.
just been with what I would classify in my teenage brain as bad boys. Okay, now that doesn't mean they didn't do anything bad. They did plenty of things that
Questionable choice.
Illegal
could land
things.
them in places with bars, things like that, you know? But, so they definitely were, but I don't really classify it like that anymore. But anyway, after those experiences with those
That's
guys,
a bad boy. Anyway.
who didn't take me on real dates, I would say,
Right.
mostly, then this was the
Hoodlums.
real date.
Yeah, because
right?
we should just clarify right now. A date is not. You want to hang out?
You want to meet up after dark
Yeah.
at
Do you
the
want
park?
to meet up?
Yeah.
What is meet? You mean? Are we having a meeting? Are we going over a business plan?
It's not meet
no,
up
no, no.
at the park.
You have to say, I would like to take you to dinner, or I would like to take you out. Like you just say something
Yeah.
specific.
Putting some time and effort.
This is what
in.
we're saying. It's not the first time we ever hung out with the member of,
The male
Insane.
species.
the male species. There we go.
So
I've been saying.
after those experiences with these quote bad boys, then I was like, I need to give a good guy a chance.
Girl.
And for some reason, I classified him in my mind as good boy.
Because he was clean cut.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he was way more clean cut.
he classified himself as a good boy too. It's like,
Yeah.
must
So
be.
I don't know what happened, but basically, I was at the pool. I was with Lauren and Danny, I think. Or was it Lauren and Danny?
Lauren and Danny.
Okay,
Yeah.
so we were at the pool, and for some reason, he kept like looking at me or something, and I was like, Lauren, or something. Count how many times he looks at me. See if
And
I'm crazy or
Let's
not.
tell them how old I am at this point.
How
10?
old are you?
10.
Maybe
Probably
younger.
10. I was like, does he keep looking at me? Am I crazy? So then she started counting, and it was like 50 or something. It was some stupid number. 50, 60, 70, something crazy. I was like, hey, I think I'm not crazy. That's weird. See, that's so weird. So this is the really weird part. Then I went home a couple days later on my MySpace. I got a message from him. How? How do you find
Yeah,
me?
what?
I
How do
don't
you
know.
your name?
Wait, that's weird.
Maybe
He
How
must
did he
have
find
seen
a
you on someone.
No, but how would he know
he
who
must
I
have. No,
was?
he must have seen you comment on someone's thing and be like, "Oh my gosh, it's the girl." That
Somehow
happened.
he found me because we did have mutual friends.
We
I'd never
we
been
knew
around
who
him.
he was because we had people that knew him.
I had never been around him in my life before.
World travels fast in a small town.
So
Shook.
somehow he found my MySpace. He's like, hey, I know this might be really weird. I don't remember what he said, but something like that. But I saw you at the pool the other day and whatever. And I was like, oh, okay. So then I started talking to him. Then he said, do you want to go get ice cream? or
get
something
frozen
like that?
yogurt.
You want to get frozen yogurt? And I was like, sure.
Was it at Yoga Berry?
Yes.
The
How
ice
old
cream.
are you
That
at
was the
this
yogurt
point,
place in our
Sarah?
town.
I was like 17.
Whoa!
Oh my gosh.
If
You
you
were
were
baby.
17, I was 9. Okay.
Ooh. I might have just turned 18. I don't know. So then for some reason I say, hey, Kath, Lise, let's all go to town center and then you
No,
can.
I
Wait,
think we just
I don't
wanted
think
to
you
go to town
invited
center.
us.
I did not
on our
invite you.
own.
Yeah, but I'm saying I don't think we made a plan. I think we were like, let's go and watch.
Oh my
Yeah, but I was
gosh.
like, sure. I wasn't like, get away from me.
Yeah.
You know
I'm
why?
just saying.
Because I didn't give a rip about him. If I actually did, I would have been like, get out. But I didn't care. So anyway,
Oh gosh.
went there, and I remember I intentionally wanted to be late. Why did I do that? Oh,
It's a
I know
power
why.
move.
Yes. Here's why. Because I was sick of all these. It's just a reaction from all the guys before. All the guys before were constantly late or not texting me back or putting me in the vulnerable position all the time. So I was like, you know what? I'm taking my power back. I'm going to be late.
Even though he never did.
Yeah, he didn't do anything to me.
He was like the kind of person to be
yet.
like 10 minutes early.
Yes. He deserved it though. So later, I didn't know that at the time. So I was definitely intentionally late, which was so strange, but I get it now. I was trying to feel powerful. And then I got there and
Oh.
Do you want to step in now? Because
Okay.
you saw him when we got there.
Lisa, you can help because you're good with
He was
details.
waiting. He was on time.
He was there waiting for her, and Lisa and I were with Christina, but we were like gonna go off on our own. We weren't like joining them for the date. And he
Okay, listen. We just walked by, and it's like glass windows, glass doors, and we saw them. What was it? In Yoga Berry? Remember the
he
ice cream
was
No, I
place?
was
So-
with you. We walked over,
Oh.
right?
I don't think so. Look, I remember us walking by, seeing you in the place, and going, "Oh my gosh!"
No, I
was
remember
like,
he was shaking.
He was just so scared. I think we
Which
went over
I
and
feel
said
bad,
hi.
but we weren't like we
I
were
think,
just like
listen, I think we said hi for like 1 minute, and we were like, "Oh my gosh, that guy's terrifying." We literally ran away,
we
got
ran
outside,
away and screamed
and screamed.
because we were also 14 and 15. So
Yeah,
you know.
they were 14, 15.
We
Give
were
them a
like,
break.
we were like, so awkward. Ah! It was just, and we were just kind of hovering around, and we would kind of like peek at them when we would like walk by.
So then I was laughing about that, but he was like, he definitely felt really awkward.
I feel bad.
Don't feel bad for him though, because he was so rude to me later on. Like later.
He was like a
So-
fake nice guy.
So rude. Yeah, he was fake nice. That's me pointing at him, not saying anything. I was going to say his name, but I didn't say anything. So I don't really have any more details, but basically
That was the most
We
interesting.
were
ate
there.
ice cream. I think the ice cream was really
It
good.
was frozen
I
yogurt.
think I got vanilla with strawberries and rainbow sprinkles.
Oh, that
I
sounds
believe.
good.
It was really good. And then we like talked a lot, and I was just like, and
We were
then
like, the chemistry is low.
I was like, the chemistry is
Low.
down
Not
here.
there.
And then we went on a walk out, kind of where
I
Kath and
think
Lisa
that's
were.
where we saw them again.
Then we went on a walk
"Ah!"
and just chatted some more. And then you guys were running around doing strange
Singing.
things.
We were
Yeah.
Lisa and I went to get energy drinks and
Oh my
candy, and we
gosh.
were like jumping around and dancing for the cars.
and
It was
singing "Fly on
very
the Wall."
strange.
Good
Don't
for you.
you wish that you could be a fly on the wall?
and we were like jump at the same time. So weird.
It was yeah.
Anyway.
So I guess to
I'm scared.
conclude the story, so then we chatted, talked about everything. I told him a lot of stuff about myself, like giving him a good idea of what he was getting into. He did not give me a good idea of what I was getting into with him because
Apparently not.
he faked a nice boy thing the whole time, which is not how he really
It was not nice.
So then at the end, I was just like, and then he asked me on another date, like immediately after, which I did go on like 2 or 3 more times. And then it crashed and burned.
Yikes.
The end.
All
So
right.
it wasn't a bad experience. It was just,
Not
Strange.
great.
Very awkward.
It was
sounds
very
like.
awkward. I can.
it wasn't
clarify
awkward
that.
for me.
It was
But
awkward
it
for
was
us.
How do
generally
you not feel awkward when
I
he's
didn't
sitting
feel
there
awkward
shaking?
because I was like,
I would be like,
Because
was
you're
just
so
like-
uninvested.
I was
I
like, oh,
guess.
whatever. I was being nice. We had a good time. It was fine. But I was just like, meh.
okay, I get it.
Okay. So
right.
that was my story.
All
Not
right,
too bad.
Me. So I hung out with different guys, but again, I am not counting those as dates. Those little rascals. They didn't ask me. They were just like, oh, you wanna meet up or whatever. It's like we're literally just hanging
you
out,
wanna
doing
meet
nothing. So the first man who was a gentleman enough, which I really appreciate this to this day. I was 21, maybe 20. I don't know. And he saw me at church singing. I would go up and like sing and like cantor and stuff. And he went to the college that was right next to our church. So he saw me and he like came up to me and was like, first he was like, oh, do you want to get coffee? Which I guess was our first date.
That's
But like he said it in such a casual way that I think he was trying to be more like friends. And then after that coffee, we got along really well. So then he called me when I was
Nice.
babysitting. It was like, saw his name. And he was like, are you free on Friday night? I'd love to take you out to dinner. Yes. Like, what a gentleman. It was
sweetie.
so nice. So
Wait.
I-
Okay, keep going.
Okay, first of all, so Friday rolls around. Let me tell you, this is a very quality, nice boy. Catholic like me, so we had the same faith. He was very like kind and charming and just sweet. He was a good guy overall. But the date was not his fault, but just a little awkward.
Okay.
He was actually nice.
He was really
This
nice.
is an
He's a
actual
good
nice
guy.
a really
guy.
sweet
To this
guy.
day, very good guy. But it was awkward because I don't know why, guys. I remember like I got dressed and then I came down the stairs and I saw him at the door and I was like, Kath, what were you thinking? I literally wore a hoodie and jeans.
Oh, honey.
And he was and I didn't know what we were doing because he was all about surprises, which was also very nice. And he
He
came
was
to the
really
door in a
thoughtful.
really nice like sweater and khakis,
Oh,
like a knit
East
sweater
Coast
and like
cutie.
probably like boat shoes from the East Coast. And I was like, Kath, what are you wearing? I literally wore this like striped hoodie and jeans and sneakers. I was like, oh my gosh, I was kind of mortified at myself. But he took me to this like Italian restaurant right on the ocean. It was beautiful. And I was just like, oh, dang it.
Oh
But-
my
But
gosh.
it was still fun. We had a great time, except for I had the bad intuition to order seafood pasta. Or wait, seafood salad, which I thought was a salad with a little bit of seafood on it, but it was really a quote salad made out of seafood. So it was all of this like cold seafood. And
Ew.
I didn't realize that I have a shellfish allergy. And I start eating this seafood and my throat starts itching. And I was like, excuse me. And he's like, are you okay? And I was like, sorry, I like couldn't talk because my throat was itching. I was like, my throat just feels kind of itchy. It's probably just something in the room. I don't know. I kept eating the seafood. What is wrong with me? And my throat just kept getting worse and worse, and I was like coughing the whole time. So yeah, I mean that was.
What did you do? Did it eventually go away?
Eventually, I started to realize, oh, it's probably the thing I'm eating, which I literally ordered as my dinner. So I was starving. I just stopped eating like half of it. That was like my dinner. So I just kind of ate this like not very good like cold seafood.
I think when you came home, you told our mom has the same allergy.
Yeah.
And then she was like, I think
She's like, I think you're allergic.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, great.
Joey has it too.
So
I
you
know.
were just like choking the whole time.
Yeah. And then I
Alright.
just kept drinking my water like
Amazing.
furious.
Did it ever subside on the date?
I just stopped eating it, and then my throat, it was still swollen, but I stopped
Oh,
coughing.
God.
Oh.
And he was like, he felt so bad. He was like, oh my gosh, like, are you okay? Like,
Oh.
his face just like fell. Like, oh no, I screwed up. And I was thinking, you didn't screw it up. You did a great job this date. I'm the one wearing a hoodie and jeans and
Eating
and
food
having
you're
an
allergic
allergic
to.
reaction.
I feel bad. I just thought about him and just remembered him, and I'm like, oh, he was
nice.
really
I hope
so
he met
nice.
a nice lady.
He was a very, very kind boy.
well.
we ended
He
up
had a
dating
bunch
for-
of dates with
yeah.
Kath, and Kath was really nice to him.
Yeah,
so.
I was
I'm
always
saying,
really
I hope
nice to
right
him.
now he's with a nice person who appreciates
I think
him.
he
Me
is.
too.
I think he is.
He deserves
deserves
it.
a nice
Yeah,
woman.
I actually caught up with him
We
not long
stand.
ago.
Oh, clap.
We
clap.
clap for him.
Yeah,
He
I
was
guess
a
yeah.
bad match, but
We
he was
actually
a
ended
nice
up dating
guy.
for 9 months, and that was the longest I ever dated anyone before my husband.
That's a long
so,
time.
I
Yeah.
mean, he deserved it. He was nice.
yeah, he was a really nice
really
guy.
nice guy.
What a guy.
If you're
Just not the
wondering,
guy.
it didn't work out because I just realized we had a very personality mismatch after a while, and I just wanted to like him because he was so nice, but I really didn't have like
You didn't have that
Wasn't it?
connection.
we didn't get along
Yeah.
actually. Well, he
got
thought
along,
we did, but I
but-
didn't really.
He thought we did.
But he was great.
But he was a very nice guy. So
Next
Okay.
is Lisa.
not
So-
that horrible.
I am in the middle of greedy and needy. So, okay,
So
my
you're both.
My first date, I was 21 years old.
Ah,
we
twins.
met. I know, it took me a long time. Well, okay, so there was 2 or 3 guys that I really liked who were like bad boys who were like, I really want to take you on a date sometime. And I said, no. I
Oh,
really wanted
Yes,
to.
that happened to me
and
too.
I was like, I'm going to go out and my brother will catch me and I'll be in huge trouble.
You said no.
I said no. I was like, we can't.
I was like, sure, let's just make sure
No.
my brother never
I
catches
was
us.
so scared of, or one of you guys seeing me.
Or
I was
I
like,
would catch. She had a lot of people to
Yeah,
She had
ugh.
Catherine, Michael, and me. That's too many people to
so
catch
annoying. Yeah, so I was
you.
just
You're
like,
just
no.
not going to make it happen.
I said no to literally the literal loves of my life at the time, I
oh
thought.
gosh.
The
So,
love of my life.
no, my teenage loves of my life. So, 21 years old, I'm like, well, I've never been kissed, never been on a date. I don't know what to do with myself. I feel so unloved. Never had a boyfriend. So, New Year's 2013 into 14, I go to this party. I go up to Northern California. I lived in LA. I went up north to visit my hometown. And my really lovely friend who's like super Christian, we're still friends to this day. She's like, oh, do you want to come with me to this New Year's party? It's going to be no drinking. It's like a really Christian group of kids and everyone's really wholesome. And I was like, wow, that sounds a lot different from my last New Year's where everyone was so wild and I didn't know what to do because I wasn't. It's like, that sounds fun. I'll give it a chance because like it honestly didn't sound
give
that
it a
fun, but I was like, all right, fine, let's just try it. I feel like that's what I need in my life right now. So I went, and my friend's little sister, who I was also friends with, had a crush on this guy there, and his brother was hosting, the older brother, and he was cute, and I was like, interesting. We didn't really like, it wasn't like sparks of flying, but I thought he was kind of cute. So, and I found out he had never kissed anyone, had never drank, and never had a girlfriend or something. Like, we were like the same person in like, you know, different bodies basically. So I was like, I got his number or Twitter or something. We got in contact, and he was like, "Oh, you live in LA? Like, I go down there sometimes. I'd love to like take you out or something next time I'm down there." And I was like, "Okay, cool. Okay, I deem you worthy. And none of my siblings know you, so it wouldn't matter if they caught me with you, even though I'm 21 years old."
I don't think anyone would care that.
I know, but I was like, okay, this is someone I could not get in trouble for hanging out with. So fine, I deem you worthy. So what was that place called? Duke's. It's called. There's one in like Malibu, Hawaii, and somewhere else. It's like this beach
tacos,
restaurant.
like-
yeah, it's
yeah.
like fish tacos and beach food, whatever.
Very good.
So we went to
Delicious.
Duke's Malibu. He told me like, I'm coming to town this week. Like, actually made a plan. Could I take you out? And I was like, I got really scared, but I was like, okay. So the day comes, and I'm like, oh my gosh, oh my gosh, oh my gosh, and I'm freaking out. I like really don't want to go, but I was like aware of what commitment phobia is at this point, and I was like, I have to get over this. I know I need to just do this because I'm terrified to go on a date in general. It doesn't even matter who it's with. So I need to just get over this. I need to just do it. So I push myself to do it. I am driving my mom's car down the highway along the beach to get to the restaurant, and I am crying so hard. I'm crying the whole way there. I'm so
Oh my
scared.
God.
I don't know what to do. I feel so old, and I should know how to do this by now. Like, what is a date? I was in shambles. So got there, dried my eyes, made sure I was okay, calmed down, and I was like, I went inside and found him, and he was like really nervous. We were both like, "Rah." And I sat down and just started like talking, and I was like, oh, we're just eating. I've done this before.
I've eaten before.
Oh, you're just hanging out and just has a different title, but you're just talking and eating food. Like, I do that with my friends all the time. And like, time started to pass, and just like, he was really sweet, good guy, but like just too like bottled up for me. Like, we didn't really have like chemistry, but he was really nice. And I was like, okay, if this was someone that like sparks a flying with, like, this would have been really fun. And it wasn't even a horrible day. It was just like, I finally understood what a date is and that I could do it, and it was okay.
Aw.
So like, we went through the whole night, whatever, it was fine. We talked, and then I think maybe we went to get ice cream after, and we were leaving. And at that age, I had this like deep fear of spending money, but also really wanted to impress people when I would finally spend money. So
I'm scared.
I can't remember exactly what happened. I want to say the valet was $10. So I gave him 30, and then the guy was leaving in front of me, and he was like, "Oh, he already paid for you." And I was like, "Oh, just keep it." And then he's like, "Oh, thank you." And I was like,
Wow,
goodbye.
this is such a rich woman.
I know. Meanwhile, I would be putting like $3 into my gas tank, just the bare minimum, so I don't have to spend. But I'm like, oh, just keep it. And I drove away, and I was like, why did I do that? He already paid for me. I could have just given him 10 or
That
something.
was
I
really
was like,
nice that he paid for your valet.
I know. I was
That's
like,
sweet.
And she
so,
tipped him $30.
yeah, my first date,
Great
I
guy.
accidentally.
Great night for that guy.
I impulsively tipped the valet $30. I was like, ah, and then I drove home, and I was like, okay, it's okay. Everything's okay.
Okay, that is so funny. That post-date feeling. Have you guys
Oh.
all had that?
Yeah.
Where you're so relieved. Even if you had a good time, you're so relieved it's over because it's so
Yes.
nerve-wracking.
No.
Yes.
It's only the first
I never
one.
felt like that.
I had that with so many different guys.
You know
felt
what?
that 10,000 times.
I'm trying
Had
to
so much
remember.
anxiety.
I really didn't. That was early 2014. I really didn't go on a date again until like the end of 2015 or 2016 or something. It was like a long time. So that was just my experience of a date, but
Yeah.
Good for you.
I
that
feel
was
like
me.
I never had the feeling of like, oh, it's over. I was more like,
Oh, I always
oh
felt
no,
like that.
are they going to text me? I was more thinking like,
I never
are they
thought
going to
about
text
that.
me? Is this going to happen? Is that going to happen? Blah,
Well,
blah,
you
blah.
think of that.
Did I
but,
do this
like,
wrong? That was what was consuming.
No,
well, this
I
was
was
nice
always so
because
relieved.
he didn't live
Oh.
there, so it wasn't really going to go anywhere. It was just like a random thing. So
Oh, that's
Okay,
nice.
that's fun. That's
What
my story.
about you?
All right, Amy.
I've already told this story on my current crisis segment. Some season
tell a
of
new
the year.
angle.
So we'll keep it. We'll
Wait, guys,
rehash.
there's an eyelash in my eye. I need to go get it out.
Okay.
But you can still tell us.
Oh, okay. So
Oh, yeah,
while
sure.
Lauren's eyelashing, I will give a rehashing.
So
Anyway,
poetic.
thank you. I appreciate it. Okay, so anyway, so your girl was like 19. I was about to move to Tennessee. It was like our last few weeks actually in Malibu, like maybe, I don't know. So there was this guy at church. He went to the college, same one that Catherine's talking about. That church was a blessing, but also a distraction because there were so many cute guys from the college next
I don't remember
door.
a single one.
Because you don't like
Not
nerds,
one.
okay? Anyway, so, first of all, the whole thing was a wild, dramatic tale. So basically, he and I had like started talking at church. And then one day he was like, oh, can I ask you something? Or like, can I talk to you about something at church? And I knew exactly what he was going to say before he even said it. He literally was like, oh, was your sister Lisa single? And I knew he was going to say that for no reason at all. I had no reason to think that because he was always
So weird.
talking to me. But he was like, oh, I'm so. Then he's a writer. So he sent me an entire essay apologizing and listing paragraphs of why he did what he did, why it came out wrong, and blah, 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 blah. So then
Wait,
he was,
what do you mean by that?
like,
So-
he was like, I just freaked out. I didn't know what to do, blah, blah, blah. And I just randomly asked that.
Something
And
that
I don't
happened
know
on a
why.
TV show.
Yeah, I don't know.
So he meant to ask you out, but he asked Lisa out.
He
instead.
panicked and said the
I know,
wrong
sometimes
name.
you panic.
How
really
do you
something.
panic?
Didn't you say Nick did that?
No.
He said he liked some girl, but he asked her as her friend or something.
Wait, Nick did say
it
he
is
did
a
that.
thing.
There
It is
He
a
you
said
go.
he liked some girl
That's
in high
so
school,
confusing.
obviously.
Yeah.
And he asked her best friend to go to a dance instead of her, but he didn't like
That's
her.
wild.
Oh, what
Yeah,
a
I don't
weirdo.
know.
Now we need
weird.
to ask him why
Men
that
are
happens.
wild.
Wait,
Anyway,
really
so he
quickly?
sent
Wait,
me-
I wanted to say that I just remembered right before we moved, I went on a date and I told him I packed all my clothes and I went in a large flannel, ripped jeans, and a baseball hat, and he showed up in a sweater vest and khakis, just like Catherine. And I was like,
Wow,
oh,
what is
man.
wrong with us?
And I
Oh.
actually really did like him, but I don't know why I did that. Anyway.
I cannot remember what I wore for the life of me. So basically, he sends me a few novels, literal like
An
pictures
essay.
of like a Word document of apologizing and blah blah. He was really nice. He was really sweet.
That is wild.
Just a little
So
confused about which
I
sister.
was freaking out starting the day.
He's like, I'm still learning all your
before.
names.
Yes, I stared panicking very, very, very hardcore the day
Wait,
before.
so you said yes to the date?
yeah.
Wow.
Because I was like, I'm 19.
'Cause
I'm
you
not
knew
getting
he
any
liked you.
younger, you know.
Well, and it's like he's saying that whole essay. It's like, okay.
Yeah, and then he like asked. He's like, he basically asked me out in the essay, apologizing. So I was like,
Aw.
okay, fine. No, I love a good essay. It literally had literal paragraphs and everything. It was incredible.
That was
so
wild.
then I was like,
Did you
you
give
are
him?
not.
Wait, did you give him Lisa's number?
I had
No.
never
What
even
did you
talked to him
say?
before.
I said yeah, and then I just walked away.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait,
Goodbye.
what?
Yeah,
Wait, what was the question? He said.
Is she single?
yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, what's
I
her
thought you said he
number?
asked for a number. Okay.
No,
No,
So
no,
you
no.
said, yeah, walk away.
So I was crying. I was so scared. I was like, why did I do this to myself? And then also everyone knew where I was going, which was so embarrassing. I don't know why. I mean, from my last segment, you guys will know why, I guess. I just don't like people knowing my business. So I start panicking the day before. The day of, I'm literally like, Lisa, I was crying. I was so scared. I was like freaking out. And I was like, this boy's not coming anywhere near my family. He's not picking me up. Nothing. I'll drive myself there. Like, so I drive myself there. And then it's
you
not
guys
even
go to-
that bad.
Did you go to dinner or where'd
We
you guys
went
go?
to
What food you
Was
get?
it lunch?
we went to like ice cream, and it
Oh.
wasn't that
cute.
bad. But I was like, okay, I felt bad, so I was like, well, I like drove myself there. I didn't give him a chance to like pick me up or anything. So I was like, okay. He like asked me to hang out again. So then I was like, okay, we can like you can pick me up this time, but you're staying at the bottom of the driveway. None of my family will ever see you.
Did you say that?
Oh.
Yeah,
You're like, just go to the bottom of the
yeah, I was
driveway.
like, oh, and there's a lot of cars in my driveway, so I'll come down and meet you. Whatever. It was not a lie.
God.
And like
Oh my
also,
gosh.
I was moving, he was moving. We were not going to be in the
okay.
same place.
It was low
So
stakes.
then we went to dinner. It was so
Where'd you get dinner?
awkward.
Why?
Manja? I don't know why. Maybe
Oh,
that's why.
where's that?
I have a
Italian.
fear
that's a good
of
place.
dinner dates.
Why was it awkward?
I don't because he just was awkward.
Like,
And
what?
like he was really nice, but he was just like
He was probably
Was he
putting too much
nervous?
pressure on
I
himself.
don't
Like,
know.
he wasn't able
yeah.
to-
You guys,
Maybe-
this man wrote an essay.
Guys,
He's
this
putting
was
pressure
also
on
Oh,
like
himself.
6 years ago.
Maybe
but,
because
like,
it was like a
He
nice
blocked it
dinner
out.
and he's like, ah.
yeah, it was a lot. But
Wow.
I did it. And then he asked me to like date him long distance, and I was like,
You're
I'm
like,
sorry,
no.
I can't. Do
No.
Wait, I thought you threw up.
Did I? I probably
Oh, you
almost.
definitely
I either
did.
did or almost did.
No, oh, okay. I
Oh.
thought you did throw up.
No, I
Wait,
threw up more
did you ever
nowadays.
do your prom story for Current Crisis?
I think
I think you did.
Because I remember that.
And I
And this
forget
so
this
funny.
kind of
on the
reminds
way
me of
back.
that.
That was so awkward.
You guys, I don't know which episode that's in, but you should hear that. I just can't tell you where it is.
That was, but yeah. So basically, it was fine, but didn't work out. But it was nice.
He was
So
a
if you're gonna go
gentleman.
on a date, just remember, even if it's really awkward, you're gonna be fine. You don't need to cry about it. I mean, you can.
You can let
You
it out.
definitely need to
just
cry
let it
about
out.
Yeah, just cry about it, but just know it's gonna be fine. And if it's too awkward, you can just fake a heart attack and leave.
Wow.
Okay.
Time for the neediest.
Okay, my
Ooh.
story is not that like
Dramatic?
dramatic.
I don't think I ever
I
heard
literally
this.
remember
So-
this happening.
None of you know who this person is. None of you ever met
Yeah,
him.
what the heck?
So I was 16 years young,
Wow, young.
possibly newly 17, but basically 16. And we just moved to Tennessee, and I went to like a church youth group thing, and I met this guy, and he was like nice. And he asked for my number, I guess. And was like, oh, like I don't remember. This was a long time ago. But he somehow asked, I don't know if he was like, oh, do you want to go on a date? Knowing him, he probably did say that actually. And so I was like, yeah, I guess. Like, I don't know. Like, it was a group situation. He seemed like nice enough. So I wasn't really nervous about it. Kind of like what you were saying. Like, I didn't really like him enough to be like, gee, like, I hope it goes well or whatever. Just kind of like, okay.
You didn't like him enough to cry
And
about it.
so, yeah, I didn't cry about it. I cried about many other dates, but not this one.
Really?
Yeah, because it's like when you actually like are when you actually care how it goes, then it's like
See,
yeah,
I
do
was
the
not
right
invested
thing.
in this man at all, but I cried so much because I was just terrified.
Okay, good point. But okay, so we went to a bowling alley.
Ooh, love it.
I think he asked to pick me up, and I was like, no, I don't know you.
Seems to be a
I'm
pattern.
not getting in a car with you
Good
when I
tips.
met you one time.
Good tips from Lauren.
Immediately,
safety.
no. Not that I thought he was gonna like kill me or anything, but like I can't
That's
do
a
that.
good
I don't know you.
practice.
So we went bowling, and I realized that he wanted to go bowling because he was like a professional.
Oh my gosh.
Not like a professional, but he was like
really good.
really knew how to bowl. So he was like trying to teach me how to bowl.
Oh, I love that.
And I could not do it because you have to hold the ball in this way that I have mini hands, very weak bones. I can't hold a ball like that. So it didn't happen. So he's out there like strike, strike, strike. And I'm like, gutter ball, gutter ball, gutter ball. It's so cool. And then also he kept singing the whole time. Which,
Lauren's nightmare.
like doing like runs and stuff where I was like,
I think I remember
like,
that.
what?
it was very shocking to me because he's like a shy kind of guy. No, literally he would be like, somebody, like the whole like singing. But
Wait,
like,
do you think he knew you were a singer and was trying to impress you?
yes, but also he was like big music guy, so I think he was just like, oh yeah, I can sing. Like,
Oh
it's like,
my
Big
I don't
achiever,
know.
this dude.
Yes, like he wanted to be like, I can bowl,
Wow.
I
Let
can
me guess, he has
sing.
straight A's.
Oh.
Yes.
Yes. Harvard.
He's giving you his
something like
resume.
that.
So
He
he's
was, like,
Troy Bolton.
Trying to be like, yeah.
Oh.
But that just kind of made me uncomfortable because, like, as a singer myself, I don't really go and just like start singing to people because it's just a little bit weird. Like, maybe I'll hum along to the radio, you know, but I'm not gonna start doing like runs and all of that stuff. So, like, it was fine. He was nice, but I was just kind of like, something went wrong, you know, like we didn't really connect. And I was just confused by his personality, I would say. I didn't really understand.
Confused.
I don't know. I just didn't really get it. So we did not hang out again. I don't know if I
At
actually
all?
told him, that I didn't want to hang out again, but
he
we
just
didn't.
got the memo.
Yeah. So
Just knew.
it was like fine, but we just didn't connect. There was no like sparks flying, yeah. So not a bad experience.
But a little weird. I just realized I went on a hike kind of date with a really nice guy, and we thought it was fine. I actually kind of liked him, and then we never talked about it again. It would just it never happened.
You just knew.
Wow.
Yeah, sometimes
So
you just
weird.
know.
But I didn't know. I was actually shocked. I was
You're
like,
what the
okay.
rip?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think that's all I really got for that one. He was really nice, but it just
Dang.
wasn't for me.
I get it.
All right, you guys, that's our first date stories.
That was good.
There you go.
Hope you love them. Now we're
you
gonna do a
much.
bag of random.
Okay, bag of random. Woo! Yeah.
Shower cap of spontaneous.
Personal poll. Sorry. This week's bag of random is a personal poll. And the question is, what was your first favorite song? Easy. Loveful by the Cardigans, which Justin Bieber later sampled on his second album. Love me, love me. It really goes, love me, say that
I think people
you
know that
love
song.
me. Whatever. I would tell Michael in the car, I'd be like, put on a girl song. And I meant, love me, say that you love me.
How old
Girl
were you?
song.
Because he'd be like, blah, 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 blah. And I was like, put on a girl song. I was like 6.
Okay, my earliest memory was the song "Nobody's Home" by
my God.
Avril Lavigne.
Oh
It's a
my
very
gosh, how old were you?
That's
like
such a
6,
good song.
7.
Okay, I think 6 or 7 is the age. Am I right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I was 6 or 7,
Wait, I gotta see.
and it was crap. Actually, I don't know which one was first.
Guys,
it
the
was-
song came out in 96. Love
Wait,
me,
you were
love
not
me.
6 or 7.
I must have been like 4 or 5.
Oh my gosh,
Wow. Early memories.
you were born in '93.
I was 3. So, but maybe
could
it
have
got
been later. Yeah, it
popular
could have
in
been later.
97.
Oh yeah, because sometimes they don't always get popular right away. That's true. Okay, so I was 6 or 7, and I don't remember which one it was. It was either. Oh wait, crap. No, it was either. NSYNC, Backstreet Boys, or Britney Spears. I want to
was the
say it was
song?
"Baby One More Time."
Oh, I could see
want to
that.
say that was the first one,
You
but it
loved
could have
that
been
album.
something before that.
I remember sitting on the half pipe in the backyard because Michael was Sporty Spice, and you had that CD cover, and you're like, I just got it, or something.
and I was like reading the
I have
lyrics,
young
and I was
memories.
like, "Oh my god!"
That was me to your Avril Lavigne album. I was like, oh, she
Stole
gets
my
me.
album and read the
She
lyrics.
gets me.
That came out in 98, so you were 8. Baby One More Time.
Probably wasn't
To
that.
dry
then.
her.
It was
Broken
probably NSYNC or
inside.
Backstreet Boys. I think they were earlier.
Hold on.
SMH.
My
Here, we'll look it up while you do yours.
My favorite song, I liked a lot of songs when I was a kid, but this is the one that I was obsessed with. I remember I would put my Walkman on and listen to the song. It's really weird. I mean, it's not a weird song. It's actually a great song. It's just really sad. It's called Wonderful by Everclear.
Oh
Oh
my
my
gosh,
God.
that
And
is
I
so
remember
sad.
Catherine
I saw
Ann.
the music video come up on MTV, and I was like, that is so sad. And it just really touched me because it was about these kids whose parents get divorced. And I just remember watching it and being like, oh my gosh. And I loved the song. I was obsessed with it. I love Everclear in general. They were a great band. Amy?
It was "Soak Up the Sun" by Sheryl Crow.
Oh my
Obviously.
gosh. Yes, I remember that.
Amazing, 10 out of 10. Love it. Would never list it. I saw her in person last year, and I
Wow.
freaked out.
I
in
just
my
realized
soul.
I lied. I know what it actually was.
What?
I know what it actually
I know what it was, too.
It was Melissa Etheridge.
Oh.
It was. Oh wait, there's 2 songs.
Am I the only
Yeah, it was
one?
that or "Come to My Window."
Come to my
Okay.
window.
My mom had her CD and loved her. So I think I was 3 or 4. Can you look that up?
Well, what's it called?
Come to My Window.
Walk across the fire.
So then I would get the broom and hold it like a guitar, and then I would go, "Hey, mother." Well, I don't know. I was like, your voice is really hard, and I was like
Chipmunk version.
playing the guitar like this.
Really cute.
But I don't know
Wow,
what
Delaney,
year that
Delaney
was.
wants to be
Okay,
a rock
that
star.
one came out in 1993. So you could probably 4
Probably
or 5.
4 or 5. I was born 90.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah, that was my first favorite. Now I know. That isn't that weird? That was
I
like
don't know what that is.
I have to play for you after. I'll play for you after. Okay, so I'll play it for you
must have
after
heard
this.
it.
Yeah,
I don't
You probably like
recognize it.
Now that's
1-year-old.
really funny for a 4-year-old to love those songs. I have actual memories of turning it on, blasting it, and then going in the middle. We have this big room in our old house. Going in the middle of the room with the broom and just feeling like, oh, this is the funnest thing ever. Just spinning
my
around.
gosh.
Because I didn't have siblings at the time. So what was I supposed to do? All I had to play with was a broom because Michael was outside doing rollerblading or something. So it was boring times back then. I had to sing to myself because Lisa was newborn. baby
NSYNC's
1-year-old.
first album came out in 1997. Like, I want you back. It's
I
tearing
liked that
up
one
my
a lot.
heart. Yeah, that was 97.
Okay, so that's the real answer. Okay, so Sister Spotlight, Lauren's take, Get Real with Christina, Side Thoughts with the Kath, Amy's Current Crisis, Exposing Lisa's Weird Past. Those are the options of Sister Spotlight, which I'm supposed to say a different sister gets a spotlight each week. And this week, the sister is me.
Wow,
I'm kind
honey.
of riffing off of some of our past things, episodes, whatever. Particularly, I think the body image one, we talked about this, but I'm just going to take it a little bit further. So here's my Get Real with Christina is you don't want what you think you want.
Ooh, what?
So you think you want, I'm not you, we, okay? But we think we
Humanity.
want. What sounds better if I say we or you?
Probably
We think we want an impressive career. What we really want is we want to feel significant, important, valued, enough. We don't actually want, I need this impressive career to impress everyone, blah, blah, blah. We don't want that. We really are like, I want to feel like I'm enough. I want to feel like I'm significant
Well, Justin Bieber has told us that like 5 times this year.
in his songs.
Yeah. It's like, being famous
You
is
don't
horrible.
really want perfect grades. Well, you want them, you know what I mean? But what you really want is you want to feel good enough. You want to feel valued. You want to feel
Smart.
important to your parents. You want to feel smart enough. You want to feel like you're actually going to be able
Accomplished.
to make it in your life and be okay and be secure. It's not the perfect grades. It's the stuff way beneath the surface that you
It's
want.
not the nugget, it's the lies.
You don't really want to look like a model.
Mm.
What you really want is to be loved. You want people to love you. You want yourself to love you. And that brings me to, you don't actually want everyone to love you.
Ooh.
You just want those few people who you're close to truly love and accept you as you are. And I really have to emphasize yourself. You want yourself to love yourself. You want to be able to look in the mirror and be like, you're great, and say all these nice things to yourself like you would to your friend or your friend would to you. You want to love yourself. You don't really want a perfect boyfriend.
Ooh.
You just want to be loved. Once again, I think it's all being loved, honestly, but some of it's feeling important as well, which can go down to love. But you don't want a perfect boyfriend. That's not what you want. That's not what you need. You just want to know, I'm not going to be going through life alone forever. And alone doesn't necessarily mean not in a romantic relationship, right? You don't have to be in a romantic relationship to not be alone. You can have friends, family,
Yourself.
God, yourself to not feel alone. Oftentimes, we shut ourselves out and we feel alone when we're with ourselves all day, but we ignore ourselves. This is something I've learned a lot in therapy over the last couple of years. We ignore ourselves and we actually like almost ostracize and abandon and reject ourselves. And then we feel alone when we're with ourselves, who should be our best friend, our biggest cheerleader, all of that. So my thing is here, everything that you're thinking like, oh man, because I find myself thinking about this like, oh, if only I had this, or if only I was like this, then I would what? Be happy? No.
Justin Bieber would tell you you're wrong.
Wrong. The reality is go deeper, and it's really, oh, if only I could feel loved by the people around me. If only I could feel known by the people around me. If only I could feel loved by myself. If only I could feel like I'm enough. If only I could feel like I'm perfectly okay as I am and acceptable and there's actually nothing wrong with me. If only I could feel actually significant and special and important as a human being. That's what you really, really, really want. It's none of the surface level stuff. So then my kind of challenge to you is to write down the stuff that you've been thinking about, because I've been doing this a lot too. In my sleep deprived days, I'm like, oh, if only I had this, whatever. And then I'm like, wait, actually, that's not what I want. I want peace right now, or whatever it is. Write down those things that you're thinking about. Like, oh, as soon as I have this, I'm going to feel good. As soon as I get this, I'm going to feel good, right? Write them down and then go, wait a minute. What's beneath those that I really want? And you can actually start working on those every day. And then you're actually going to get what you want. The end.
Love
The
that.
end.
That's some really motherly advice.
I
I
love,
love
that.
that.
Yeah.
I know. I would love to say that to my children, which I will someday.
You
I
can.
thought you said to
You
your
could
younger
tell
self.
him.
I mean, I
Right
can tell him
now.
right now, actually.
Yeah.
That's true. He won't
You're
know
like,
what I'm talking
listen,
about.
Barry.
That's not what you
He's
want.
like,
soak it up,
oh, that
though.
just makes so many things make sense.
He's like, thank you so much. All right. Well, guys, that was Real Christina. Thank you guys for joining us in this episode. We love you guys, and we'll see you in the next one.
Bye.
Bye.
You've been listening to the Cimorelli podcast. Follow Cimorelli on Spotify and subscribe on YouTube. You can also find Cimorelli on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram.